So when you're talking about Minnesota fighting Vikings to build around for the future, the obvious one is Justin friggin' Jefferson, and also Danielle, the real deal Hunter, if the herniated disc in his neck is going to be good to go. But who's the third? PFF did up a list of 3 players to build around for all 32 NFL teams headed into the 2021 season. The MF and tripod. Let's go. So who is it for the Vikings? Scrolling and enhancing. We'll look at some of these other ones too because they're kind of fun. So the Vikings, Justin Jefferson, Danielle, the real deal Hunter, and Brian, the real deal O'Neal. We need to differentiate. I mean, yeah. Dalvin Cook is one of the best runners in the National Football League, but this is PFF and we hate running backs. But also, yes, Dalvin is 26 and has history of injuries at the position. Blah, 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 blah. Jefferson, 90.4 PFF grade as a rookie in 2020. And O'Neal, career high 78 PFF grade in his 3rd season in the NFL last year, are safer bets for providing long-term value offensively in Minnesota. Vikings will certainly welcome back Hunter along the defensive line in 2021. He earned a career-high 89 PFF grade with 88 quarterback pressures in his last action in 2019. Hunter should be entering his prime at 26 years old. Now, with the Vikings, I mean, who else would you go with? Maybe you say Kellen Mond, but he's a 3rd-round pick. He's a rookie. He's really unproven. I think that's a little bit out there. Dalvin, you could say yes, but they bring up good points. Even though PFF hates running backs, Dalvin is 26. He's never played a full 16 or 17 game season in his career, so that's always going to be an issue, right? And the cliff for running backs comes up pretty quick. And who else would you really build around? Bradbury hasn't stepped up. Darisaw and Wyatt Davis are rookies. Ezra Cleveland, TBD in year 2. I mean, Dalvin Tomlinson, you like him a lot. You do like him a lot, but do you build around a 3-tech nose tackle? Maybe. I think Eric Kendricks would be a good one, but he's getting up there in age as well. Harrison Smith is obviously much older. Cornerbacks-wise, I mean, who do you go with? I mean, Dantzler is still really TBD, so I do like these 3. O'Neal is your best offensive lineman. Cinch him up and pay him and keep him in purple for a long time. Danielle, if that neck is going to be good to go, he'll resume his place as one of the best, if not the best, edge rushers in the NFL. And then, of course, you got Justin friggin' Jefferson. Let's look at the Packers. I mean, they can't list Rodgers, right? Like, Rodgers is 75 years old. Devontae Adams, Jair Alexander, and Bakhtiari. So, Bakhtiari, respect. He is one of the best left tackles in the game. Jair Alexander, again, begrudging respect because I love Jair Alexander coming out of Louisville, so yes. And then Devontae Adams. I mean, I guess he's going to be on the Raiders next year, so whatever. Oh, they even talk about Jordan Love. That's really funny. Let's look at the crooked Chicago Bears. Come on. So, Fields, Allen Robinson, Khalil Mack. Well, Allen Robinson is sneaky getting up there in age. Same thing with Khalil Mack. So I'm sort of whatever on that. I mean, you could go Jalen Smith, except his shoulders do creep me out just a little bit. Justin Fields, I get it. 1st-round pick. Going to be the future franchise quarterback, or maybe not, depending on that offensive line. So who else would you really go with on the Bears? Like maybe Cheeseburger Eddie Jackson? Maybe. But other than that, nah. Detroit Lions. Frank Ragnow, Penny Sewell, Taylor Decker. Up front, the Hosses, yes. So I do agree with this list because what else are you going to do in Detroit? You're not going to Goff. You're not going to DeAndre Swift. The wide receivers are garbage. Maybe you could say Jeff Okudah if his rookie season wasn't so garbage. But Taylor Decker is a known commodity, a very solid left tackle. Penny Sewell has a chance to be a generational prospect. Frank Ragnow has already established himself as one of the best young centers in the game and also just got himself paid. So, yeah, I fully understand it there. But this is a really fun exercise because you're looking at 3. Oh, the Colts, Quentin Nelson, Darius Leonard, DeForest Buckner. I love that. Actually, F it. Let's look at all of them. We got time to burn this offseason, son. Falcons, Ridley, Grady Jarrett, Kyle Pitts. I still stand by that Grady Jarrett is one of the most underrated 3-techs in the game. He is. And Kyle Pitts hasn't played it down yet, but you're certainly going to roll with that. Ridley and Pitts could be legit. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson, Humphrey, and Ronnie Stanley. Yeah, I do agree with that. Bills, I mean, the Bills are pretty good. Josh Allen, Diggs, and Tre'Davious White, 3 absolute studs. Josh Allen might get Mahomes money. He might be up there for sure. Carolina Panthers. So they got DJ Moore, Brian Burns, and Taylor Moton. So Moton's playing on the franchise tag. Brian Burns is that undersized edge rusher that you don't really hear about. Maybe if you play fantasy and IDP, Brian Burns is going to be that guy, but he's a stud. I loved him coming out of Florida State, even though he was literally a 240-pound edge rusher at Florida State. He's like, whatever. And DJ Moore is one of the best kept secrets in the game. Chicago, we talked about. Bengals, Burrow, Bates, Chase. Yeah, I can get on board with that. Browns, Baker, Garrett, and Denzel. I'm still not sold on Baker. Like, maybe, Baker with Stefanski paired long term, maybe that could work out, but I just feel like you could do better. I don't know. Like, he's so hot and cold, and he does have a great situation. He's got the best offensive line in football. He's got a great running game. OBJ is back this year, so I guess we'll see. Dallas, triplets. Well, not really triplets, but Dak, CeeDee, and Amari. No Zeke. I'm surprised that Zach Martin is up there. He is 30 years young. DeMarcus Lawrence is also getting up there in age as well, so I get it. Broncos, Simmons, Judy, Chubb. No Cortland Sutton? Really? You're going to go with Jerry Jeudy over Cortland Sutton? Okay. Or no Patrick Surtain? Really? Or no Garrett Bowles? I mean, come on. It should be Simmons, Chubb, and Bowles. Probably. Let's see. Packers covered. Houston. Oh, boy. So Tunsil and get rid of everyone else. Like, when Justin Reed and Brandon Cooks are the two of the three guys that you're building around, no. Colts we talked about. Jaguars, Lawrence, Josh Allen, Laviska Shenault. Yeah, there really isn't a ton there. I mean, some of the other guys, a little bit older. You could say maybe Miles Jack, except he's starting to put on some mileage as well. Chiefs, Mahomes, Hill, Chris Jones. I get that they left Travis Kelce off the list because he turns 32. Raiders, Waller, Colton Miller, Derek Carr. I wouldn't build around Carr, but also who would you build around? That's a good question. Chargers, Herbert, Bosa, and Derwin James. That's sick. That's if Derwin's back healthy. That is pretty good, even though Justin Herbert was not the 2020 Offensive Rookie of the Year. Rams, Donald, Ramsey, and Stafford. So Aaron Donald, even though he's up there in age, same thing with Stafford. They're just going to build around that. I suppose since they don't have any draft picks, they literally do not have first-round picks for the next decade. Dolphins, Howard, Waddle, and Tua. Agree with Howard and Waddle. Tua, I don't know. I don't know about Tua yet. Vikings we talked about. Patriots, J.C. Jackson, Onwenu, and Mac Jones. Onwenu, 5th-round pick out of Michigan last year, played guard and tackle, was an absolute beast. J.C. Jackson, restricted free agent. He's going to get paid once they get rid of Gilmore's contract. And Mac Jones, who knows what he's going to be as a rookie. Saints, Thomas, Ramchick, Marcus Williams. No one, Michael Thomas. Yeah, Marcus Williams. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't put Kamara since he's basically a wide receiver, not really a running back. Giants, Bradbury, Leonard Williams, Galladay. Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd really want. Babytron on his second deal. Leonard Williams got paid. Bradbury, meh. Jets, Wilson, Quinnen, and Becton, yes. Yeesh. I was going to say AVT over Quinnen, but no, Quinnen has a chance to be a real beast inside. Eagles, Devontae, Goddard, and Cox. I don't know if I would take Goddard. Like, he's good. I don't know if you build around him. Like, I don't even know if they're going to extend him. So I would go Devontae. I would go Fletcher Cox, even though he's getting up there. Do you go Jalen Hurts? Yeah. But there isn't really anyone else exciting on the Eagles. Steelers, Watt, Fitzpatrick, Claypool. Yes, hard to agree there. Niners, Kittle, Lance, Bosa. Yeah, that one's pretty easy. Seahawks, Russ. Still Russ, huh? DK and Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams gets all this hype for being such a great blitzing safety, except he's basically a defensive end. He's basically a defensive end linebacker. But, I mean, would you leave Russ off this list because he's getting up there in age? Like, would you put Tyler Lockett on there? Lockett's great, man. I love Lockett. Bucks, Godwin, Wirfs, Evans. I guess because, no. I would go, it's PFF, so obviously the wide receiver's going to be up there. I would go Godwin, Wirfs, and Devin White. Or would you go Winfield Jr.? Even though Winfield Jr. didn't really grade out that great as a rookie, and PFF is sort of whatever about safeties unless it's Anthony Harris. Tennessee Titans, Brown, Simmons, Byard. Wow, that is a great trio. And yeah, Derrick Henry is a running back who's just Yeah, and Julio's getting up there in age. You're not going to build around Tannehill, but AJ, Simmons, and Jeffrey Simmons is going to get paid, by the way. It's really good. Washington, McLaurin, Chase Young, and John Allen. I've already said this a bunch. Washington has the best defensive line in the game. Like, they are really, really good. Plus Sweat and Payne. Yeah, that's good. But McLaurin, Scary Terry's legit. There we go. So that's going through and looking at 3 players that PFF says build around and blah, blah, blah. Vikings going with Justin freaking Jefferson, going with Brian O'Neill, going with Danielle Hunter, which makes sense. I'm really good at alphabetical order. Like, how did I get to the I's? I. But what are your thoughts on their thoughts? Who else would you build around on the MF and tripod? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull, production value.